tomorrow is Memorial Day. And then in November, we'll have Veterans Day. And sometimes there's some confusion about what those 2 days represent. On Memorial Day, typically, we honor those military, whether they be soldiers, sailors, airmen, who have fallen in battle or have died from injuries that they have received in battle. Those are who we honor. That's the main focus. But it has also been extended to those people who have served our country but have died. So those certainly would include my grandfathers, my father, my uncles, okay? And those would include here in our Orthodox Church, those who have served in their nation, whether that be Greece or Romania or any of the Orthodox lands. So we tend to celebrate those too. But what on this Memorial Day, what I want us to remember is that, yes, we are honoring those men and women who died in the defense of our country, okay? But sometimes what we don't recognize is that, or that unfortunately takes a very political tone, is that we are not just fighting in the defense of our country many times, but we as soldiers, we are obedient to the orders that are given to us. We have fought in many conflicts since World War II that have not necessarily been in the defense of this nation, but they have been in an extended way in our defense. We as soldiers and sailors and airmen are not called necessarily to question the orders of our commander-in-chiefs, whoever they may be. Okay? Now, there is something that when we take our oath, we say that we will support and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, but we also say that we will obey all orders that are lawful and moral. That is the exception that we have. So we are not obligated to obey those orders that tell us to do immoral things, kill the innocent, children, to destroy without cause, okay? But as soldiers, we are taught that whatever country we're from, we are taught that we will obey the orders of the commanders who we report to. And in this country, that goes automatically to our commander-in-chief, and that's the President of the United States. And throughout our history, this is the orders that we've been given. Do we as soldiers many times agree with the conflict, as many sometimes that you do? Not necessarily, but we have taken a vow that we will serve. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this so that it is, from our perspective as soldiers, sailors, and airmen, it is wrong for us to be condemned for what it is that we do, excluding illegal and immoral, of course. But make sure that if you resist the actions that the country is taken, that you direct that action appropriately. Where that action is directed is at the people that get us into the conflicts, but not us who serve our nation and are obedient to the orders. Obviously, the most clear example of that in our history has been Vietnam. And it was a very disgraceful thing for those soldiers to come back and to face what it is that they faced. Okay? And now, recently, we've had a reversal of that. And now you hear many times that they will say, well, thank you for your service. Okay, so that has switched. But that can very easily go back again. And we must be very cautious that we direct our response to what is the source and not to those who have been obligated to carry those out. In Scripture, it has been very, very clear that to serve as a soldier is a very honorable thing. In Luke, the question is asked. Some soldiers asked him, obviously they're asking Jesus, what about us? What should we do? And what is his answer? His answer is not exclude yourself from the military. Do not become part of the military. What is his answer? His answer is, do not take money from anyone by force or accuse anyone falsely. Be content with your pay. That clearly indicates that he supported what it is that the soldiers did and that it was an honorable profession. St. Paul, many, many times, uses the imagery of the soldier. He uses the image of the military. In Ephesians, he says, what? Put on the armor of God. Stand ready with the truth as a belt tied around your waist and wearing a breastplate. And now put on a shield of faith and also then a helmet as you go forward. So he uses this beautiful imagery of military. So not only are we proud to be soldiers and military officers and military enlisted and military NCOs, we are equally proud of that, but it's also then scripturally based that we are to honor those who serve their countries. So let us be careful on this Memorial Day that as we say things like, thank you for your service, that we think upon those people who have given their lives in the service of our country. Maybe not necessarily agreeing, but they gave their lives. Equally so, remember also those in your prayers, those military men and women who now have suffered now from battle and from having been involved in conflicts and have come home both mentally and physically disabled many times. And let us make sure that we keep those people in our prayers too. This is the appropriate way to celebrate Memorial Day. Not just to consider it some kind of 3-day holiday that we get time off, but our country calls us to honor, to respect, and to remember those fallen in battle, but equally so to remember those who now suffer from the battles and the conflicts that our country has called them to.